so sorry, dude. Oh, wrecking on the backstretch. Big wreck on the backstretch. Dude, that's so crazy, dude. Just, I don't, why? Well, yeah, just... Oh, wrecking on the backstretch. Big... Oh, wrecking on the backstretch. Big wreck on the backstretch. Dude, that's so crazy, dude. Just, I don't, why?
Well, congratulations to Matt Rucci on his first career OCRP victory. 2 straight poles, finally paying off for him. The second race in the season. Crazy, he's won pole both times, and this race, it was especially important to have field position like that. If you were able to stay up front and stay out of any, all the ruckus that was going on, you were going to have a good day. Unfortunately, not all of the top runners were able to do that, as you saw at the very end there. Foderaro, unfortunately, it kind of a similar move that got him the lead earlier in the race. We're just kind of sliding into the corner, and they both kind of came up on each other. Unfortunately, different conclusions, and Foderaro falling back to where he finished, P14. So hate that for that driver, but plenty of races still to go. With this big of a field, everyone at some point is going to have a bad day. so don't get your head down. That was a great race by you as well. But yeah, 116 laps out front, Matt Rucci. I finally got to watch back the broadcast, and for another point here, hats off to Jeff and Ryan for hanging in there. First off, to watch this ridiculous caution fest, and to make it interesting. I mean, the broadcast was fun to rewatch. They had a lot of funny comments and like insights and so on. They kept it fresh. So hats off to them. I don't know if a lot of people could pull that off. So let's try to give them a better show this time, please, as we head to Las Vegas. But yeah, I don't have too many more comments. I mean, we all knew what it was. It was just caution, caution, caution. I think maybe the alarms don't have to be fully raised just yet. If we can't make it through Las Vegas without a ton of cautions, then let's, we got to pull back some things and, work with each other here. But between Daytona, which is usually kind of a wreck thing, and then Rockingham, which was all these new people racing together on a really tough track, it was just a recipe for a disaster almost. I think there's a lot of opinions going on why we had so many cautions, but that's kind of my view on it. It's awesome seeing more and more people get out there for practice too. On Monday night, we had Las Vegas practice, and there was a good amount of people getting out there having pit parties. I think that's going to help a huge bunch. And we'll see what the latest iRacing update does to the car as well, if we can get enough people into the Wednesday night practice to get some pit parties going as well for Thursday. But let's move on to the chicken nuggies of the race. Again, congratulations to Matt Rucci on his first career OCRP win. He is the 20th driver to win a point-scoring race in league history. So we've gotten up to 20 drivers after 8 seasons to do so. This is the first time in league history we've seen 2 straight new winners to start a season. Obviously, last week I got my first career OCRP win, Matt Rucci getting his first career in race 2. Rucci also qualified on pole for the 2nd straight week. So that's pretty impressive, especially with this big of a field. Maybe when we were racing 12 drivers or so, you'd see a lot of the same people up front, but to do this week in, week out so far is pretty awesome. And as we said in the intro, field position was huge, led 116 of the 123 laps. He's actually the stat leader in that regard as well, with 122 laps led on the season. With his win, Rucci moved up 6 spots to take over the points lead by 2. Dylan Macedo also up there in P2 now with 80 points and 78 points. I've fallen back to 3rd with 75. So the Bearder Motorsports team hanging in there. In what will likely be our first and only trip to the Rock, we saw 18 cautions and 71 cautions laps. Maybe not an all-time record, but something we all don't really want to experience again. The record for most cautions is actually 25. That was back in season 1, shudders, at South Boston. This league has come a long way. This isn't the first time we've had discussions about the amount of cautions we've had. I mean, when you get a bunch of new people together, not new people, but people who haven't been racing together as much, it's just going to happen sometimes. So hopefully we can turn this around going forward. Somehow in all the carnage, Ryan Potter and Charles Gray both finished with 0x, so nice job to those two. And then also I want to give a shout out for their first career top 5s to Rucci, Macedo, Potter, and Lance, who all get their first career OCRP top 5s. So those are the chicken nuggies of the race. I was going to invite Rucci onto the show to talk about his win. Unfortunately, adult life got in the way and I had to cancel on him. So I'm just recording this so we can get this video out. So apologize to you. Maybe we can have you on later in the season for sure. Talking about stat leaders and so on. Again, not too much to talk about 2 races into the season. I guess I'll give a few notes about Las Vegas from practice. It was weird, and we're gonna have to see how much the update changes, you know, how the cars respond and so on, but it's like a mini Daytona. The only thing that's gonna be a little different is the restarts, I think, could potentially get a little crazy. If people don't stay in line, we have a lot more room and lines to spread out than Daytona. Like Daytona, it's kind of skinny when you think about it, the lanes you have, and I mean it's a death wish if you get out of the draft, which it's similar at Las Vegas with this setup, but there's definitely a little bit more freedom in terms. I'm going to be interested to see if we fan out at all during restarts or if it's purely going to be lane by lane. The outside definitely has some trouble unless they can stay strict with each other. If you do get some help, if you like time it right, you get a run and you get some people behind you, you can make up some spots, but you have to make sure that you can get back to the bottom if you get a pass done like that. So it was interesting. We were trying to see like how hard it would be to get on the outside if you have a 2-car tandem, getting by 1 car, kind of stuff like that. And here and there you could get it done if people were patient with each other, but again, it's gonna be interesting to see what a full field does, and as well what happens. I'm recording this before I get to try the new update, so we'll see how that affects the drafting and how the cars handle and all of that as well. So it could be totally different than what I'm talking about now. We'll see. That's what Monday practice brought us. And I know last week I went over the practice times and so on. I'm not even gonna. It was so draft dependent that the times don't really matter. Qualifying when you're doing it solo is gonna matter, obviously, but it all depends on if you were in the draft or not and stuff. So there's no use looking at that. But yeah, if we all work together, this could be a good Las Vegas race. There was exciting runs here and there. I think it could be a good race. It's just a matter of if everyone's patient with each other. There's gonna be a lot of give and take. There's gonna be moments where you get out of the draft or you have to check up, you lose momentum, and you're gonna fall back, and it's gonna happen. But if we get another restart and whatever, and you get people to work with you, you can move back up. So it's gonna be this weird mix of holding on to that field position for dear life and also making sure you're not going to be wrecking a bunch of nice race cars. So there you go. That's the week 2 Bearder Racing Network BRN report, I guess. I don't even know what to call this just yet, but hope you enjoyed the highlight video as well. Again, I kind of simplified them this season, a little bit less than season 6, but hopefully they're still enjoyable. I basically just threw angry music over all of the all of the wrecks. I wasn't going to be highlighting every restart and so on. We just threw every wreck in there and then showed the passes for the lead. So see you at Las Vegas. I'm excited to see how this one works out. A little bit of an easier handling track than Rockingham, that's for sure. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you out there on Thursday. Peace.